We're gonna do the thing. We got a little bit of a late start, but that's all right. We're gonna get a little short session in tonight. So welcome to the Legends of Tabletop podcast. We're gonna be playing our second session of our fourth season of the Night Trippers, Day Trippers. It's the whole thing. I'm gonna kick it to Todd. What did we do last week or last time or whatever
Dusk
we
Trippers.
We were just dusk tripping, but we've now passed the Terminator. We find ourselves in Night Tripper territory. And a quick recap, the year is 2122. The world is a war-torn hellscape. And Ulla Vangelis, she lives here. She was off separated from her clan and looking for wreckage in the burnt, evading reconnaissance drones and checking out the geothermal power plant nearby, which they're trying to figure out how to drain power from one of these days. She gets that weird nauseous feeling that there's a reality flux is about to happen. As she tries dodging out of the way when this portal opens up and two guys come tumbling out of it right into her. It is Nash and Reggie. Now, their last memory was that they were on the deck of the Marduk in a completely different Earth timeline. And they were about to witness themselves in the same ship they were in, appearing in the same space they were in. And Reggie knew that was bad. So he began lucid dreaming fervently, passed out on the floor. That was the last moment that they realized that reality was real for them. And then suddenly they're in this like a hallway between worlds, and Trae figures out how to move by thinking in a certain way, and he grabs Nash by the hand and pulls him through this vortex. And out they tumble into this female. They've never met her. They don't know this world. They've never been here. But there's something about that city in the distance that does seem oddly familiar, although it's covered with a great dome. And the sky is a terrible, dark shade of orange. I can show you a picture. So this is the hellscape you find yourself facing, having tumbled out of the vortex and meeting Ulla, who oddly isn't all that shocked that strangers can come in and out of these reality fractures. I mean, they do happen randomly and all the time. People have disappeared through them, so just kind of stands to reason that people can come out through them as well. So she introduces them to her clan, but they've got some bad news. There's a squad of drones seeking her. Ulla knows what they're after. It's the experimental AI software that she's got in her head. She escaped from a situation that she may want to talk about later. So, escaped from Ubiqua City, also known as Union City, that big dome city in the distance several years ago, fending for her life out here. She recently ran into this clan maybe a year or two ago. And it sounds like now she's led the enemy straight to them. They go off on a recon mission to try to drag the drones away from the camp. They get into a battle with some drones. They shoot them down out of the sky. And Trae, by the way, hacks one of them and makes it his new little puppy dog friend. And then they come back to the camp. But by the time they get back there, the camp has captured a bounty hunter, a guy named Karen Baxter, who is just one of several, we learn, who'd been sent out for $1 million price on Ulla's head. They're not going to stop. Trae shoots the bounty hunter in the head, and just then another glowing vortex appears, and out of it tumbles this glass jar of ornate design, maybe the size of a tall butane tank. And inside there is a baby, and that baby's hooked via wires and tubes to the outside of the jar, and the jar has a base and speakers allowing the baby to hear and listen, because this is Reggie, and he has dreamed his way back into this reality. It seems just wanted to be with his friends. Well, the clan takes one look at this, the talking baby in a jar, and the fact that Ulla's not surprised by any of this stuff. And Keck, the leader of the clan, comes to her and says, I don't know what all this is, but you all have got to go. That's where we left off, people.
Which, I mean, that's a totally acceptable, a very normal response to everything that she's seen.
Nash
sure.
looks over to
Reasonable.
Ulla and
That's the perfect word for it. It was a very reasonable response to what she saw.
Is the baby talking right now?
I think.
Are you?
Yeah, I think
vocalizing?
so. Am I?
Yeah, because the baby's now talking about her. Like, this is too much for Keck to handle. She just throws her hands up, walks out of the tent.
And, Nash just looks.
That one was good too. That was probably appropriate for her to do.
I'm sorry. We didn't. I mean, we didn't mean to fuck this up for you. We don't even know how we got here. Fuck. Is there anything we can do to make it right? I don't. I mean, if they know where you're at, I mean, I guess they're going to keep coming anyway, right? I mean, do you have another place to bounce to?
It's not your fault. I mean, they were hunting me anyway, so they were going to find me one way or the other, and it was just a matter of time. However, what the fuck is that? She's pointing at Reggie.
By the way, Jack just asked an important question, so I want to give Ulla you have a survival skill, yes?
Sure. Yep, yeah. Probably. Let me pull up my character sheet. It's been a minute since I looked at it.
The important question that Nash asked was, do you have a place to bounce? And that's the question we're going to answer to see if you had previously made a survival roll to set aside some place to bounce.
I don't really have survival as a skill per se.
Nope. We used something like it last time. What was it? Stealth?
Maybe stealth. Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, not in this situation though. All right, so we're just going to call it a straight brains roll then.
Okay.
Give me a brains roll. It's not really hard to think of this. Let's call it challenging. It's a 3. B3.
Okay. So remind me again. Sorry, it's been a few weeks.
Your brains score tells you the number of dice that you're going to roll, and you're going to take the highest one. Now, if we were adding a skill, that would be added to it.
I have 2 4s and a 3.
All right, so you've got a 4, which means you beat a 3 by 1. So yes, you do in fact have exactly one place to bounce. You've got a little cache with some food and maybe some weapons, and I don't know if it's enough space for 3 people in a jar.
Yeah,
I'm like an eighth of a person, like 3 1/8.
How are we going to take care of it? Are we going to have to feed it? Do we need to get it like nutrients somehow? What is it doing? How is
I don't know.
With a grown man's voice, you know this person?
So this is, and he
I'm
looks
a baby.
down at the jar. He goes, "This is our buddy Reggie. I don't know how he got like this." And he kind of like waves his hands towards the jar. He wasn't like this when we left.
Can I see that? Do I see? Todd, do I see?
You can see. In fact, Reggie, you're the one that notices it right now. Behind you're all the adults are engrossed in their conversation, and most of them are looking at you. But you're down closer to the ground, and so you see the children have been coming closer and closer to the dead body on the floor, and now they're squealing with delight because one of them just stuck his finger in the bullet hole.
Oh, gross. Okay, kids, go outside.
Reggie's engrossed in that for the moment.
Look, we can rig something. I'll carry. I mean, he's got to come with us. I mean, there's no question.
They're like poking at the bullet hole.
Okay, I'm going to shoo the children out.
All right,
shoo the children away from the body.
I don't remember any of this.
A little bit.
Yeah. Get out.
Yeah, get away from that. It's not a toy.
All right, they're gone. They're gone.
Rich,
they're laughing as they go.
What is this? Like, what is this? What happened?
I don't know. They're poking at the bullet holes. I don't know.
No, not the kids.
Want to stay here anyway.
Why are you a baby? What the?
I'm pretty sure. Listen, I know we have probably a lot to talk about, but I'm pretty sure I've always been a baby. I think maybe all of our collective memories have sort of been, I think it's probably probably best to just understand that maybe the last few, I don't know, series of adventures have sort of been all a dream. You know how we were bouncing through everything and reality was nothing and it was also everything, and then time was nothing, but it was also everything. You know how all that was happening?
Yeah.
Trae will have gone through his memory bank, all his stored images that he has. He'll pull one up of Reggie as a grown person, and then have Totes hollow project that, like, so everybody can see it.
Life
Be like,
size?
yeah, exactly. Mr. Reggie, you have not always been a baby. You were a grown man, just a few days ago.
I'm pretty sure that was probably just like a projection, like a lucid dreaming sort of projection. You know, I think I can do something. I can do something like that too. And Todd, can I change the image to me as a baby in this projection?
You can certainly try to.
Just try and try to see things how I'm sort of. This is kind of how I'm seeing things now, and then I want to change it so that the image actually shows me as a baby.
Beat a 7.
Now this is going to be a lucid dreaming roll, I presume.
This is in fact a lucid dreaming.
Okay, let's see. Okay, 10. 6 plus 4 is a 10.
He's got cat ears.
Yeah. Also, wait, can I add something on top of that?
Well, you're going to have an and. So
okay, yeah.
The hologram shifts into a baby and
this is a harmless thing. I just wanted to sort of like not mess with Trae, but just be like, oh, maybe this is correct. It's the little 8-bit Reggie who like walks into frame and like rearranges all the little, pixels and shit. And then there's the little baby thing. Like I was always a baby. I was always a baby, Trae.
Trae saw when he looked into the screen on the drone.
Yeah, and here comes little, Reggie just hopping in, little 8-bit Reggie, and he just sort of like messes around with your stuff.
Okay.
And
all right. Stop for just a minute, because they're literally on the way to destroy this area, right? Like our lives are in danger.
You're right. We have no time
should get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
And then you can argue about whether or not he was a baby, because I really don't care.
I start casting around to make something that I can baby Bjorn him.
Yes, you do. Of course you do.
I'm gonna go try and get all of my stuff.
Scraps of leather and rope, and you're in the right place. Keck is like a gardener and a crafts person. There's all sorts of stuff around.
Yep.
I'm gonna go try and like get as much stuff as I can, and I'm going to rope whoever is nearest to me into like taking anything useful. Like here's a bag, and just like stuff things into it.
And
Trae's definitely into. I'll go help Ulla gather up any supplies that she thinks we might need.
Okay. To be the bearer of the ticking clock, but I do need to remind you that out in the field, examining the last drone, Ulla saw that this place had been declared an active salvage zone, this whole region.
Mm-hmm.
And it said at that time that you had 1 hour to vacate. And it's been half an hour.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We're going to GTFO here in a minute.
We're going to have to DGO the hell out of here.
Yeah. So grabbing everything that is immediately grabbable within, like 10 minutes or something, and throwing it into bags. So she has a friend. She has a friend. Her friend was in the group. I'm trying to remember their name.
Oh.
I think it's back in my notes.
Beneficent Drill was the one I think was your
Drill.
Montago. Yeah. Drill.
So she's gonna go find Drill before she like completely just skips out.
Okay, he was here a couple minutes ago. When Keck left, everybody else just sort of wandered off after her. So he's probably back in his hut.
Okay. I did tell them that they have to get the fuck out of here, right? Like they.
You told Keck and whoever was there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
so
right.
pretty much everyone knows. So they're all in their various huts, going through their shit, trying to decide what to take and what they have to leave.
Okay. She'll go find Drill before she leaves.
Yeah. He's got a backpack and a bunch of shit in it, which is like his minimal bug out bag. He's always ready to bug out, but he's standing there staring at the truck. That he was like 99% done with this truck. He's just got his hands on his hips. And when you come in, and he looks up and he goes, I know it's not your fault, but I wish I could take this fucking thing.
She takes the spark plugs and copper bits that she got and she hands them to him. Because she salvaged some stuff from that cop car. She doesn't really say anything. She just hands it to him.
I appreciate it, my friend. I wish this would do it, but this ain't gonna do it. And we were so close.
Yeah.
Tod, can I make it run?
But you're not there.
I'm not there. Shut up, John.
It would only be a frame anyway, right, Todd? I mean, the lucid dreaming wouldn't make it run forever.
Yeah, when he does a lucid dreaming, it's like for a frame or for a minute or for a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm not there.
For a narratively elastic bit.
She just claps him on the shoulder and says, I'll see you around.
I'm sure he will. Careful out there.
You too. So she goes to find, I guess, her new friends.
Nash comes bursting out from the thing.
Her
With
acquaintances.
Reggie strapped to him.
That was great. I didn't move a bit. You kicked in the door. You're just running. I'm not moving at all. You strapped me so tight.
We're gonna have. Can you do it? All right, look. We got to get out of here. We'll have to talk about this later. Like, we've got to go. Ulla said we've got to go. That's Ulla, by the way.
Hello, Ulla. My name is Reggie.
Yeah, and as Ulla walks back into Keck's place, she sees that Keck is downstairs in the underground garden. She's trying to salvage as many vegetables as she can.
Okay.
She's more interested in the food than in the stuff up here in her hut.
Yeah. I mean, Ulla doesn't know what to say and just thinks that she needs to get as far away as possible because she just sort of feels like, well, this is all my fault, so I'm going to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, of all the people in this place, Drill is probably the only one who isn't like legit pissed at you right now.
Yeah. So she will up and out of there and start heading towards her. So does she think that her bug out spot, her little hidey hole or whatever that she has, is far enough away for it to not be affected by this zone?
It is, you have a bug out spot. It is about 10 miles south of here, which is away from the city.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could run toward the city, like maybe even into the city. Either would take you through the zone that's been declared active. Or you could go to the west. The power plant is in a separate zone. Try to hide somewhere out there. And to the east, you don't really know what's out there. It's war-torn badlands out there.
This doesn't just affect her, so she's basically going to say this to everyone else.
Yeah, and by the way, when I say war-torn badlands, I mean you will, as moving along over the course of a day, regularly come in contact with chaotic storms, flex storms, random weather, live ordnance, bounty hunters, dangerous technology, environmental hazards, detritus of war, and dangerous ruins. That's what's out there.
Probably not that way. At least not yet. I mean, if you've got a place, if you already have a place to bug out to, I think best bet's probably to go to there, regroup, try to figure out what the fuck is going on.
All right. Well, let's try that, at least for the time being. Perhaps it'll calm down a bit. And perhaps they'll move on and start searching for me somewhere else.
All right, good for you guys. Well, Reg, I mean, I guess I didn't really get a. I mean, you're going wherever we're going.
I am with you forever.
Just real quick while
double ones, which means no encounters, and you're gonna jump cut from here to the Bugout spot. So anything you want to say before you leave, say it.
Wow. So Trae was helping Ulla kind of gather up any supplies, but then she went and talked to Drill.
Mm-hmm.
So left kind of to his own accord, he's going to assume that anything that isn't nailed down should be taken because it's just going to be destroyed anyway. So any like communications tech or anything that he feels could potentially he could use to create either a comms network or assist in like a mobile hotspot type thing, he's gonna grab and take.
I hear you. Okay, so can you think of a skill that's foraging, survival, urban? You don't have any of that kind of shit.
Salvage.
I don't. I have electronics, maybe to like try to find stuff that could be potentially useful.
If you want to focus only on looking for stuff that's electronic, then that might have. I'm looking purely for hardware that I can use to put to assist in strengthening or creating the comm system that I currently have. Okay, so we're going to call this a brains roll for you.
Cool.
And I mean, there are some characters for whom maybe it involves psyche, but not Trae. So this is a brains roll. You can add elect. What do you get?
7.
Nice.
Very nice.
All right. Real quick. You find one old desktop computer. You don't want to even take the whole thing. What do you want to?
Oh no, I mean if I can take like maybe the motherboard, the power supply, the basic guts of it, just kind of because I don't need the GPU or the fans or anything that.
Right.
That's
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you find 2 heat sinks.
Mm-hmm.
You find one 2-liter size propane tank full of propane.
Ooh, those could be useful.
And you find what I'm going to call 2 points of electronic intel.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
Was there any?
You don't even know what that is yet. It's like a hard disk or a thumb drive that you just grabbed it and shoved it in your pack. Don't even know.
Right. Was there any like soldering equipment or anything up here? Or?
Drill has a whole tent.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah,
I'm trying to do this away from everybody else. I'm not. I mean, not that I'm trying to steal it and not get caught, but I don't want to encroach. Like, I'm assuming everything in their workshop they're going to take with them.
Yeah.
So, I'm not trying to.
You've got 2 points of intel. If you want to burn one of them and make it the object you wish, go ahead.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. You now have 1 point of electronic intel and whatever it is you just said.
And some soldering equipment.
Nice.
Okay. I hope you write all these down because I am not.
I am, yeah.
before the screen wipes, we take like a last look over our shoulders. We shrug the pack and kind of like look back over it. People kind of spreading out all their different directions. And he looks at Ulla and he says, "I know you might not believe it, but we're actually pretty good at this kind of stuff." Cut to.
Okay.
Yeah.
She kind of like hangs her head like.
Oh, it's cute. You think that?
She's like, in your reality, when shit is not completely broken, I can do that.
So if are we done at camp here?
You know what I think of it as? It would be like if you took, I don't know, somebody who was a really good fighter and tech expert in the modern world, and then you just stuck them out in the middle of the desert in like really extreme conditions, and then you're just like,
yeah, everything's great,
and go.
Like,
survive.
You're very capable, but so she's she got her mental state is really effed up right now. So I think she's probably numb. She's probably just compartmentalizing all of it and is gonna focus on trying to get where they need to get as quickly and safely as possible and keep these guys alive. Like that's just she's like,
Now, unlike these other characters here, you are actually familiar with where things are generally kept in this camp.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to, and if you succeeded in a brains roll, you could pull together some random gear like Trae just did, or you could even pull together a pro kit for a skill of your choice.
All right. Then I would say pro kit for stealth so that we can get there and not get found. So I'm thinking like,
what does a pro kit stealth look like?
Probably like stuff like if we need to camp or anywhere along the way that we have like netting, like camouflage netting, and anything that would interfere with anything scanning for us, some sort of technology wise that might interrupt that.
Okay. Now, the question, I suppose, is why wouldn't you have been using it out in the field before? And I think the answer is because it doesn't belong to you. So you'd have to steal it.
Okay.
Well, steal.
It belongs to Montago. And he's actually not in his hut right now. If you run in, you can grab his. What it is a biomasker that he wears somewhere harnessed on his body, and it emits this sort of blur that confuses the drone signals, laser sonar.
Yeah, she's not gonna fuck over the people that have been helping her for months. No,
Mm-hmm.
no way. So no, if it requires stealing, she would just do something else. So she'll just scrounge for whatever she can find that she knows is not going to be taken, or other people have said, no, I'm not taking that. You can have it. So
Let's call this a brains roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any skills that are actually applicable to it. Okay, so you've got 2 random items. You have got. Oh, there's a whole. No, it's not a whole stack, but there's 4 pairs of safety goggles.
Okay.
Which actually, the air out there, it does burn your lungs and it's probably bad for your eyes. It's not a terrible idea.
Yeah.
You also find a gas torch, which will go nicely with Trae's propane.
So you can cut some metal.
And that's it.
Okay. She throws the gas torch to Trae. And then she hands out goggles for everyone, but the baby probably doesn't need them.
Nash puts them on top of the jar.
I love it. I love the visual.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
It's strapped in. Is the harness? Is it front carry or is it rear carry?
I think it has to be.
I think it's got to be rear. I keep saying baby Bjorn, but I think it's got to be rear carry. Otherwise, it's going to make me less effective if I've got to do anything.
Okay, so the baby's
That's
on your
true.
back. And do you turn it so that Reggie's facing backward? So you've got like eyes in the back of your head?
I'm always watching your back. I've got your back. Oh, I love it.
All right, you sure you're good that way? You're not gonna
I'm
get bored?
all over.
staring
Don't you worry about your 6, mate. I'm all over it.
All right, love you, man.
I
All
love
right.
you too.
And then you get a move on, and not a moment too soon, because as you're leaving south, the sun is pretty much finished going down, and this is the view that Reggie sees out the backpack as he faces north. The drones are coming, people, and there's a lot of
Beautiful stars in the sky. They're all jumbled together and floating around in a very specific pattern. It's the drones. I think we might have to go faster.
Go! We gotta go.
I thought they were stars. I was wrong. I'm terrible at watching your 6.
It's all right. You're just a baby.
Go.
jump cut to Ulla's Bugout spot. Tell me about this place you've thrown together for yourself.
I'm gonna say that it was like an old, like a camper or something that is like partially buried. There's like all kinds of stuff around it, so it's sort of like become like a camper cave. And then it has, she's found some ways to kind of, I would say she probably found some ways to make it so that it didn't look like it was being used. And then, hooked up maybe some solar panels for a little bit of power. And probably just using like, I don't know, some sort of, probably figured out a way to get some water from like a well or something that she had to spend a good amount of time like digging and dealing with that whole mess. Well digging really sucks a whole lot, but there's probably no rainwater that isn't. There's probably no rainwater.
Yeah, what you really need is some kind of filtration system.
Well, she is an engineer, so that part she could do it with enough time and enough scrounging, And I think, if this was her one and only spot to like get away from, she'd probably spend a good amount of time trying to make it at least
Like
have
in her
basics.
plans, one day when I spruce up this place.
I'll add some extra cool shit. But it's basic right now. There's a little bit of water. There's some place that you can stay. There's a little bit of power, and that's it.
Okay, so this is like a camp. Like how big of a camper?
Maybe like 3 rooms, right? So it had like a living space, a bedroom, a bathroom, and like a kitchen area.
It's like a full RV, or was it towed by a truck?
It was like an RV.
Okay.
Yeah, broken down RV.
Cool.
Nash laughs aside and says, "That reminds me of the Bago."
Oh yes, right. That was a great time that we had. I spent all of my money on that's. You know what? We don't have to worry about that. Yeah, it was great. The Bago was wonderful. This does remind us of the Bago.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better,
up to the
none
north
of it matters anymore, right? I mean,
I'm not convinced it ever mattered in the first place, but yeah, exactly. You're right.
Yeah, Reggie's been making little comments like that. He has been insinuating the whole way here that everything you remember was actually a dream. You just don't know that.
I mean, it all happened, but it was all always also a dream.
but who's? You know what? I can't. I don't want to. I can't. I don't want to do that right now.
This is going to be something that we unravel over time. But we're all here now, and we're all back together. And Ulla's great. This is going to be wonderful. This is going to be such a memorable adventure. I'm looking forward to it. That's probably fine.
About 10 miles to the north, you see little explosions going off.
Well, how safe do you think this place is going to be? Like, is this place we can post up in for a while, or do we need to start looking for something else?
I don't know the answer to that.
All right. Fuck.
You do
Like-
know that that CISSEC divides the regions surrounding the city into area of concentric rings, which are then split into sectors. And so you're pretty sure you're out of the sector that they will deal with tonight, but they may come back and do the next sector tomorrow, and who knows which direction they'll be going.
So it just depends on which way they go, or whether or not there's any drive to do additional work, how serious they are about finding me.
So,
just then,
what-
there's one particularly big explosion 10 miles to the north. Brains roll for Ulla. Beat a 2.
4.
Yeah, that was Drill's. He had a lot of gas. He had several hundred gallons of gas. That was Drill's gas tank.
So what happens, I guess, when they do this, Todd? Like, what do I know about what is happening? Like,
they're sweeping the zone for what they call reclamation efforts. The idea is that it's kind of like the right of kings in feudal times, that basically the city claims right to all of the devastated terrain surrounding it, and basically, like, anyone who tries to shoot one of those ducks was declared a poacher and could be killed by the king. It's a little bit like that.
okay, so they're just looking for any indication of anybody trying to live out there and use anything, and then they're just going to blow it up.
Well, they don't want to blow everything up. What they want to do is send salvage teams out here, but they don't want anybody else getting it, because there's also, hush hush, rebel forces who sometimes fight back.
Yeah. Okay, so the drones are attacking something. What are they attacking?
Right now, well, you can tell by that explosion, they found the camp and they've obliterated it.
Okay.
And the good news is they might think they got you.
Maybe. It could possibly buy me some time. I don't know. They might think that I'm dead now. That would be nice.
It was the last transmitted location of the bounty hunter.
I'm sorry, but do we know, or did I miss maybe why they are pursuing you so aggressively? If I may ask.
Well,
The screen goes all wavy and it says, "Back."
Once upon a time, a very long time ago, feels like a few years anyway. I was living in Ubiquity, and I was working for a particular corporation, and I was in charge of a particular project, and some things went wrong, and I'm not even sure now exactly why or what happened, but I was blamed, and it was ostensibly my project, so it was my fault. And it put me in debt to the company quite severely. And they decided that the way that I needed to repay them was to join a particular experimental program that they needed volunteers for. And so I was volunteered. And unfortunately, well, it involved experimentation of AI and human interface, and They are hunting experiments that escaped them, and they wanted to make a better weapon.
Trae's ears perk up like a fucking dog that scents a squirrel. He's like,
absolutely.
AI, what?
Yeah. What is the name of the company? I know that there might be very slight correlations between our realities, but slight as they may be.
It was Wolfram Medical.
And
I'll make a brains roll on that.
I can't hear you, Todd. Are you
Todd,
talking?
you're
God, you muted.
Sorry. Wolfram was also the signature code that Trae found when he was hacking the drone.
Yeah, I have a note on that, so.
Does that ring a bell at all
Yeah.
from our
Nothing from the before 4 times?
plane of existence?
Oh,
Is that something we can make a
yeah.
roll on?
Everybody knows what Wolfram Medical is. They do cyberware basically, and a whole lot of super secret medical experiments.
Would Crab have had any connection with them? Is there any overlay in terms of what they do, and specifically like this?
Let me answer that question in a minute, because Crab absolutely interfaces with them, but I can tell you a bit more about the nature of that in a minute. You're all aware of the existence of all of these corporations. They exist in all of your worlds. So none of these names are a surprise to any of you, which is kind of interesting in and of itself.
They're everywhere.
Is there a version of Somnambula here? Does that ring a bell?
Does that ring a bell to me?
No. That's the first corporation that's been mentioned that you do not recognize the name of.
I don't actually know that one. I just what were the name of the group the siblings that I was hunting, that I was supposed to hunt, and then
The Pan Sibs, also cyber enhanced people living in the underground, but they live within the city. And to answer Jesse's earlier question, Crab and Wolfram have an entirely neutral relationship, no direct links between them.
Okay. Trae's main concern was whether or not they had, what I was inquiring is whether or not they would have had anything to do with the enhancements that Trae has, or if that was all completely kept in-house.
It is possible that one of these corporations has at times served as the client, quote unquote, of the other for this project or that. It may even be possible that you and your Clatch went out on missions on Wolfram's behalf in the past.
Oh, yeah.
But that that's not the level of relationship that we're talking about. There's no real strong ties or anonymity between the two companies.
Mm-hmm.
So the previous group of experiments were a group of siblings. They're sort of called the Pan-Sibs. Does that ring a bell?
Trae, brains roll for you. 3.
Oh, I got a 3. I got 1, 2, 3.
You've heard the name, but you know nothing about them. Some kind of underground legend, you thought.
Yeah.
Well,
something that all us Clatches aspire to be, but nobody actually knows anything about them.
Well, it's kind of like Captain Crunch back in the hacker days. It's like not even really sure that's a real person.
Mm-hmm.
So Ulla is going to pull out a flask of some sort of paint thinner alcohol, and she'll pass it around.
Nice.
It's just
Nash sniffs and then immediately passes it back. He shakes his hand, passes it back, says no, thank you.
She takes a couple of long swigs off of it. She's like, so the Pensims live within the city, and they are Todd, would you say that they're important to, not only do they live sort of like underground and like aren't part of like the active culture or the, I don't know, the main culture of the city, but would you say that they're part of like some sort of rebellion, like a resistance?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, they are considered like, public enemy, like number 1 through 7, perhaps, but not for political reasons. It's because they're like underground kingpins of the crime world. And they are hackers, but most criminals are hackers these days. It's not the same. It's not the same as the groups like there's a group called Eve, which is stylized 3v3. Everybody knows them too because they always go on the media to claim responsibility for buildings that blow up. They're a legitimate underground organization that's anti-capitalist, anti-corporate, and literally has an army. Those are the real rebels. Groups like that.
Are the Pansibs Razor and Blade? Are they Razor and Blade? From hackers?
No, there are
Okay.
There are 7 of them, and I do know their names, or I don't know.
Oh, okay, all right.
They all of their names are like exotic minerals.
Ooh.
Well, so Nash just says, well, I mean, they can't. I mean, obviously they can't track you, right? I mean, even with that gadgets, and he kind of like waves his hand by his head, like whatever they put in you, or else they would have found you by now, right? So like, we should be okay here for at least tonight. I'm assuming.
I think so. I as far as I know, we'll be all right for a bit. It at least gives us an opportunity to just regroup. And I just met you today, and you fell out of a hole.
It's weird for us too. We were on a regular Earth. He uses air quotes. This morning, I mean, things were weird. I mean, we were in a weird spot. There was
Okay.
Reggie can. I mean, as you saw with the hologram, like he has the ability to affect the world. Reggie, but like usually it's only a dream world, right? Like he could lucid dream, like he can make things happen. But like if this is a stable reality, like if this isn't a dream world, it's harder, right, Reg?
It's way harder. Yeah, no, you're doing it. You're doing it just fine. It's way harder for me to affect stable worlds like this. But I mean,
that's true. Reggie, give me a brains roll, please.
Let me just do a quick brains roll, real quick.
Add lucid dreaming.
Add lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
All right. So I have a 4, and plus 4 is 8.
Unit. Okay. As those words are coming out of your little speakers, you realize that about half an hour ago, when you changed the hologram from the big Reggie to the small Reggie, as the words are coming, in a stable reality, it's much harder to, and you realize that was super easy.
It's hold on. Yeah. You're correct. If it's a stable reality, it should be hard.
Wait, what do you mean?
Be very hard.
So what are you saying then?
Well, I can't look around. I can't do like visual cue thing. Like I can't be like Reggie looks around suspiciously because I don't. I'm in a fluid.
I mean, you're in a glass thing, right? I mean, you could still.
Yeah. Oh, this opens up a whole. Okay. Yep. So Reggie sort of looks around, kind of suspiciously goes, "It isn't really that hard here right now."
Fuck.
Ulla, you had mentioned, or at least you were not surprised that we came out of a time rift. And you had mentioned that these are not out of the ordinary.
So, starting about 2 years ago, which was close to the time when I started, when I met my previous friends, the area around the city began having these episodes, storms, reality breaks, and so we sort of learned there's a certain feeling you get. It's like in the pit of your stomach. If you can just imagine, like you're standing perfectly still, but you feel like you've fallen. If you ever have that feeling, you should run. Just
you said 2 years ago. What year are we? What year is it now?
It is 2122.
2 years. Well, 19. Fuck, Reggie. When
I just
when was it? When did we start to have those problems? It's about the right time, isn't it?
I don't know if it matters. I know.
Fuck, you keep saying that.
I know, but here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm sort of afraid of right now. Remember how we just sort of we snapped back and we all just assumed we were back in the correct reality? Well, what? And Reggie's actually kind of struggling to say this out loud. So, guys, I think maybe we just stumble upon another time loop? Did we just create one?
Like,
have we created
Nash
another one of those time loops?
Is this? I mean, is this Frank's doing?
No.
Is this the outfall from everything that happened before we saw?
No, remember
ourselves?
the whole thing where there was the lines and then there was the circles going back to the other timeline? Remember that whole thing?
Well, Charlie fucked us.
Yeah,
Charlie bounced us out, and we
Trae,
never made it back, right?
Trae will be turning to Ulla every once in a while and being like, Frank was a person who had copied himself by going into his own dreams, and we eventually had to kill most of them. And then when they mentioned Charlie, it's like, Charlie was a cat man from an alternate universe that we stumbled across, but then he played a practical joke on us by bringing us to an alternate dimension when we attempted to go back home.
And that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, are we the Charlie of this dimension now?
That's true. Although, small correction, yeah, you didn't kill the Franks. Frank has gone off in a sort of a magical ritual of his own, and you don't know where he ended up.
Well, I did kill a few of them, if you recall.
You killed
I don't
some
think
of those.
you did.
You killed some of those insomnambula, right? And then
I did,
a bunch got out and
Yeah,
came
he
with you
popped
back.
a bunch of them. Yeah, he was just.
I did.
Yeah. Can you just stop me? Does that hold water? What I'm saying, Todd? Like, are we the inciting event of another weird like pancake / multi-tiered time looped?
Well,
bonanza?
right now, Ulla is just like listening to all this like some weird fairy tale. None of this makes any more sense than the fact that it's coming out of the mouth of a baby in a jar. Jack and Trae are trying very, very hard to process this information, and the three of you sit there silently, staring at this baby, when you suddenly hear a little kind of a sound out in the, I'm going to say yard, like a little cleared area that you have in front of the place.
Are there any, I mean, probably not, but are there any like windows or like any openings at all within the, all right. I'm gonna grab totes and kind of fly him out one of those windows real quick. One of the openings.
Oh, we just had a
I'm gonna have
narrative
him
interruption.
do a quick loop around.
It was a narrative interruption. We've hit on something. Focus up.
Nash immediately stands, grabs a rifle, and is like, by the door.
You are by the door just in time to see this little dude right here.
Oh no!
He goes. His little head spins, looks directly in your direction. You realize there's like 5 of them. They're all scattered around the front yard. Cute little killbots. They're about a foot tall, and they're about to aim their lasers at you, but we're going to break right there.
Fuck.
It's adorable killbots.
An adorable killbox.
They've got adorable killbots. We have to go.
That's how they lull you in.
Make them cute.
It's like the mousers from Ninja Turtles. They're adorable, and then they bite your hand off.
Well, that just means that Trae needs more toys. He just needs to hack some more.
I'm totally down. I love the fact that Todd's just throwing more little gadgets at me. I'm cool with this.
Yes. Take them all.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have a whole army. I have to increase my bandwidth.
Yep.
Nice.
That would be super cool. Commanding a whole little legion. You got drones in the air, killbots on the ground.
Right?
I like it.
I'm gonna have a whole page of just lists of robot names.
It's Trae's inventory list. Just drones from everywhere.
Yeah, it's like playing MechCon at the mercenary campaign level. All you are is just dropping lists of personnel and equipment.
Right.
Jesse's playing BattleTech by himself now.
Oh my God.
All right.
I hope you came up with mass combat rules, Todd. That's
All I have to do is avoid GM's disease, and there's never a problem.
true. There you go.
Because you got to remember, like, what we're trying to do here, and I know that our instinct is always to look back at previous games, which are trying to, I don't know, simulate the physics of something. But what we're actually doing here is trying to simulate a movie or a story or a TV show. So yeah, we want some logic, but I'm perfectly okay with like movie logic.
Well, I love how no one in the group asked what exactly the weird, creepy shit in her head does. She did not volunteer that information.
There's a lot of things happening.
Yeah, there's
I was assuming we were going to have like a downtime where Trae would be able to talk to Ulla about what's going on. That's going to have to wait till we collect all these killbots.
The moment Trae heard that Ulla has an AI in her head, he made a mental
he's
note.
like,
hack that later.
hack it. I mean, can I get in there?
No, I am very respectful of other people's.
Yes, you are.
You murdered the
Equipment.
guy. He's tied to the chair.
If there's
I said
anything that is
equipment.
true of Trae, yes.
Okay.
Listen, we
She
do
is
not,
useful to us.
we do
What
not
he
do
really meant-
non-consensual hacking in people's heads.
Exactly, right? Hackers don't hack hackers.
Yeah.
What he really meant to do is that he's very respectful of people with machines in his head that he likes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fair.
But then
No,
you
I am
kill
so
one.
I'm not respectful. I mean the people, who cares? I'm respectful of the equipment in their heads.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Well, she's got really high-tech shit, so.
Nice.
Yeah, this will be fun. This will be very fun. I'll wait to reveal it till we get to it.
Yes.
Yes.
To another safe spot.
Yeah, we get to the same spot.
Or safer spot.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a relative term at this point.
Yeah. There's adorable killbots who found us like nothing. There's no safe spots. It's
Well,
all,
if we
it's
can
all
save
dangerous.
one or two, then we can post them up, to watch for us, so we can actually
That's
get
true.
some sleep.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Keeps them alive.
Actually, do I sleep? Todd, does baby Reggie sleep? Maybe I'm just on all the time.
You sleep a lot. Yeah.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
You're like a cat.
Or have I slept too much, Todd?
I mean, babies sleep like 14 hours a day. So
You sleep and dream. You sleep and dream a lot, but like on and off all day long, like a baby.
Yeah.
And when you dream of really complex alternate Earths of all different kinds.
I dream hard. If we could, yeah.
You dream hard, yeah. But you know what? Nash and Trae are almost always with you.
Always.
When they're not with you, it's a bad dream.
Yep.
Ulla is
did Reggie
so
come with the
used.
bottle of formula?
Bottle
Is there
formula.
something that no?
No.
All
No,
right.
there's a thing going into his navel.
Fluid.
You can see stuff flowing through it.
Oh, all right, there we
But
go.
there's nothing electronical about it, Trae. There's nothing electronical about what I'm in. Zero electronics.
Cannot hack.
It's unhackable. It's unhackable. It's unsalvageable.
You're only gonna provoke him. Stop saying words.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a steampunk thing, right? It's like somehow it's almost magical.
Yeah. Ulla, I mean, y'all have broken reality for her, and at this point, she's just like, "What the fuck is this?"
Just
I was
riding the
kind of-
wave now.
If we had gotten enough time, I was gonna ask Todd if I could roll psychology to like even you out. You know, and be like, look, this is what's been going on. I'm sorry, I'm all excited. This is what's happening. Let me. It's not you, it's us. You know, like
These are some coping mechanisms that you can use.
yeah, count to 10.
I mean, because you guys were talking, and she was just literally like,
You're-
"What the fuck?" You know, just like over and over in her head. It's just a
Not
litany.
not even Trae's explanations could put that
No,
puzzle together. In
that
short amount
didn't
of time.
help. It made it worse.
Made it a lot
Yeah.
worse.
The more he tried to explain, the worse.
And that's only stuff that happened in the last couple weeks.
Oh my God.
That's true.
And it's not like
yeah.
a real explanation. It's kind of like, oh yeah, no, it's this, and then like completely turn
Yeah.
away, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. It was very much like this,
Oh,
and then
God.
turn back to the conversation, and then
Yeah,
it's
she's
like little
really-
footnotes.
I think we have reached a point in meta. We have reached a point where, Leslie, if you want to, you can now go read or listen to the previous campaigns for yourself, and we can assume, you've had a few hours. You basically nothing else to talk about except for who the hell are you guys and where do you come from.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to go ahead and listen to or read the summaries, let me post you that.
Yeah, I'll post up the SoundCloud link. Although I guess we're out of here real soon.
I'm
but-
like legit worried that that's what this is a time loop now. I'm worried because that really was a mind altering.
Well, except we jumped to the future.
But I don't think anyone's like, was that true about it, Leslie? Like, no one has come through that reality altering thing back into this one. You've always seen people leave.
I've seen people disappear, like accidentally get
true.
caught in one and they disappear, but I've never seen anyone come back through it.
You
And-
saw one guy went, "Fuck this place," and just jumped.
Yeah. Like there's been that, but that's it. And so she's like, that's why she was like not shocked that you appeared. But at the same time, she is completely mind blown by all the stuff that you're telling her. Like she's like, I don't understand. I don't know. She's not sure she believes you.
Okay.
Like,
That's probably best for now.
she's just like,
Although they are called reality fractures.
Yes.
So it's part of you. You know that the world has reality fractures in it. You're not maybe sure what that means, like scientifically speaking, but the word itself implies, well, okay, these guys came from another reality. I don't know why that happens,
mhm.
but it happens. It's a thing that happens.
It also I don't think it helps that Trae's like brief description of everything just kind of highlights the most messed up parts of it all.
Right.
And like the few things that we did mention were also the most outlandish and weird things that we have come across. It wasn't like, oh, we went to this other world and like it had some cool things. And yeah, there was a humanoid rat race, and all right, that was fine. That's somewhat easy to believe. But no, like that stuff's just completely off board at
Like,
this point.
Those events
We're talking
specifically,
season 2. Yeah, no, but
they spoke to like
season 3,
major obstacles
right.
that we had to get around.
Right, yeah.
Well,
There was a
she's-
piss
she's-
wave involved.
I mean, she's had
Yes.
she's
Yes,
had
it was.
2 years in reality here
Right.
to deal with these reality fractures, right?
Hmm.
But in that 2 years, she's been living in these extremely rough, stressful circumstances where her main concern is just staying alive. So she's not really spending a lot of time philosophically wondering what the fuck is happening. She's just like,
Right, yeah.
Oh,
stay the hell away from that, you know?
That's a really good point.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
might be a tremendously a good thing for the three of us. to ground, really ground us, like getting off talking about weird, loop dimensions and cat people who are messing with our minds.
Ulla's already done it though. I mean, we were talking when we were back at the base, we're talking about like baby Reggie and how he's in, and she's like, that's great. But all these people are gonna die in 40 minutes.
Yeah,
and we're like, oh, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Wow.
And no matter what kind of complex terminology they use for it or how they dress it up with scientific gobbledygook, you're pretty sure they just effectively told you this baby is a wizard.
Yeah.
I'm a wizard baby.
Yeah, actually what she heard in her head, because this is a part of all of her training, is she heard he's the most dangerous person here, probably the most valuable person here, and people are either going to try and kill him when they figure out what he is, or they're going to want to steal him and do experiments on him.
Oh no, I didn't even think about that.
Over my dead body.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So that is all that's going through her head.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, you should say that out loud in front of Reggie next time. So
she was going to, but it got a little complicated.
Yeah, the adorable kill bombs. Yes.
Again, she has no time for philosophical conversations.
Right. Yeah,
it's moving. A lot of time.
This is 4 seasons of how the campaign has gone.
People keep trying to kill her. It's a problem. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, we can have that conversation next time. But I think what she's going to suggest at this point is like, okay, everybody, like, let's sleep. And like, what do you think about just like trying to take the fight to the city and see if we can just go take out whoever the fuck is trying to kill her? Because she's just like, I don't know.
Talking my language. Yeah.
But she doesn't know. I mean, she doesn't know like how the group feels about the city or like what their ties are to it in their reality. So she's not, hasn't gotten there yet.
There's some interesting stuff there because Trae actually does have some ties to the city. Jack spent most of his life trying to stay away from the city. And
what's the city? She'll ask you in game, but she'll just want to know like what's the city like?
A cab driver and a dishwasher and served in the military and doesn't really care much for the city one way or the other. He's just sort of a poor broken down guy.
I mean, we didn't have a ubiquity though. I don't think like we were outside of, we were in California, right? So we were outside of, San Francisco.
When we bought your house, you explicitly told me that you didn't want to be near any big city.
Yeah.
So the logic is there.
Okay.
But Trae does have ties to Union City that he remembers quite well, and that's why he had the most prying questions for Ulla as she was talking about Wolfram.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I guess what we'll need to do is, just have some more conversations in character to like figure some things out, because she's like, oh my God, we are in so much trouble. Like
weird. Ulla is the only one who thinks this is like cosmically, mind-blowingly troublesome. Because everybody else here has bounced through so many realities. They're like, hey, worst comes to worst, jump through a portal, see what you get.
Yeah, this is Tuesday.
Rick.
They've actually been there.
Tuesday, yeah, right. Okay, that might help the other way too, because
and so she's thinking in terms of like, this is my reality, these are my people, this is my like place, and she's like, we've already been through an apocalypse. Why is reality breaking? What did these guys have to do with it? And how can I fix it? Because it seems to be getting worse.
Yeah, the baby.
It's not on us.
Before we cut off, and again, it's kind of cryptic language. Ulla has to think about this a bit, right? Because they're not speaking in code on purpose, but their relations are so complex, and their concepts are so mind-blowing that it's hard to really grasp what they're actually saying, right? Like they're saying the baby can make magic happen and change reality with his mind. And they're also telling you they have bounced through multiple realities already. This isn't the first time for them.
Yeah, but they didn't mean to do it this time, which is also kind of weird. So
We didn't really mean to do well. I guess.
Well, again,
Sort
the
of.
baby. I mean, and again,
Again, the baby.
baby was saying something like, "Am I the one that caused all this?" He said something about, he dreamed other realities into existence before. Maybe he's the one causing all of this. Well, in your mind, what is all of this? What is he talking about? The reality fractures?
I mean, we've been to the chaotic heart of existence
Of
and come
everything,
back
yeah.
out again. Like,
Did we though?
Did you though? Well, you entered the multiversal Cal in like January of 2120.
But wasn't
And
that the?
so this is 2022.
But wasn't that the?
it's about
We
2.5 years ago if you compare the two timelines.
God damn it. Okay.
So
all right.
she's
Good day to you, sir.
So Ulla was thinking that there's some sort of experimentation going on in the city that was causing the reality fractures. Like they were trying to somehow do something to maybe like, I don't know, fix shit that went wrong because we've gone through the apocalypse and like everything's a hellscape and they were trying to fix it maybe. I mean, that was like
kind of shit.
Do what?
Like the Hadron Collider, everybody said, you're going to mess up reality.
Yeah, I turned it on and messed up. Yeah. So her that was her theory, like laying, in the middle of the night, laying there in the desert, like wondering what the fuck's going on. But now that you're here, she's like, oh, well, I don't know.
Maybe anything.
These guys' fault, actually.
The baby said that. The other guy went, wait a minute. Yeah.
He acted like it was a completely okay thing for a baby to say.
Yeah, she's like, what the hell? But yeah,
you might be face to face with the motherfuckers who broke all of the realities.
He said might be. Might. We don't know for sure yet.
Put that gun down.
What's going on with all that crazy robot stuff in your head? Don't kill us.
Yeah, he broke it, but he's also the only one that fixed it, so we need him alive.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other people like me out there. This could have been them.
Oh my god, it's amazing. It's like, yes, I am an assassin, but I'm a nice one.
Until you anger me.
I'm an assassin, but I'm also a healer. And
yes. Oh boy.
Nature is healing. I just have to kill you first.
Yes.
Here in the Marxist-Leninist army, we don't call them assassins. We call them the vanguard.
Yes.
Yikes.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess she's got to figure out, like, okay, do I take them to the city? Do we try to go there? Because like out into the wilds, there's just no fucking telling. Like it's almost like a matter of time before you end up dead.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it feels like it's
right?
almost like a rinse and repeat cycle of like find a place to live, make it cozy, escape before the bombs fall.
Yeah.
Like, find a new place, make it cozy, and then it's like just rinse and repeat that until eventually the bombs catch up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, something. Don't know what, do we? Something is fucked reality up bad, and what you guys have discovered, and it's not just now. You've actually been discovering it for a while. It's not just the reality you came from, but like all of them. They're all interconnected somehow. And you can do something in one reality and fuck up another reality.
Oh, good.
And there's a wolf from here. And there's probably a clutch here with somebody named Trae in it.
Oh.
There's no Somnambula though.
That I was going to
That's a
say
win.
that. That's but that's also weird.
No day tripping. It was never
What
invented.
if every time someone lucid dreams in a stable reality, the energy has to come from somewhere, so it opens a rift to another reality and pulls the energy from there, and that's what's creating all these rifts. Reggie lucid dreaming is what's actually creating all these rifts, and we have no idea that.
That is theory number 312.
Yeah, right.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, guess we'll see. All right, guys. Well, I am going to try to like work myself towards getting in bed so I can
Yay.
get some sleep.
Sounds good.
Okay. Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Enjoy the last hours of your Sunday.
Thank you. All right. Good night, guys.
Well, good
Have a
night.
good one. Good
All
night.
right, good night.
All right. Well, we've already post showed, so
We
we're,
have.
we're gonna yeet the fuck out of here then. So,
Woo.
thanks for checking it out. We'll catch you next time.
Yeet.
Eat.